That's the doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hello, people. We are getting our technical difficulties situated slowly. How are you doing today, Glenn?
Unmuted. Oh, I'm fine.
I'm trying to see if they put a tweet up on Twitter this time or not.
Yes, they did.
Oh my God, Spreaker for the win. So yes, hello to everybody on Spreaker, and hello to anybody who may or may not be on Twitch right now. I need to stop turning my head. I have a dynamic microphone, and turning my head doesn't get the best signal to the mic. So yeah, I still have a weird delay, so if I pause a lot, it's not as bad as last week. I just finished telling Glenn, last week it was like, I have a weird delay. Today it's like, I have a weird delay. So it's a lot better. How's everything going in Canada, Glenn?
It's Wave 3 paradise, baby.
That's what I thought. Here in the third world country called the United States, it's a little bit less than paradise for many, many people.
Well, everybody's, rightly so, everybody's getting a lot of vision about what's going on in India right now. But, you know, everybody, you got to keep it in mind. India has over 1 billion people. So any kind of breakout is going to produce big numbers, and they're going to get everybody's attention. But if you go by the infection rate per 100,000 people, Alberta, Canada is about 175% of what's going on in India right now. And nobody's talking about it. Not even in Canada.
I've seen you talking about it on Twitter.
Well, in Canada, the corporate media focus is on Ontario, which is our biggest province, and it's been fucking up consistently for the longest. So, I mean, just because it has, you know, over a third of the national population in one province, that's going to be the biggest market that they're counting on to tap into for their click revenue. But Alberta, nobody's saying much of anything. And it's going to be terrible here in a couple weeks. It's already bad. We're seeing numbers that are pushing or starting to break the highest numbers we had last December.
Yeah, wow. It's going to get crazy here in California as well, I believe, because there's this new election going to happen, and the governor, Newsom, wants to stay in power. He wants to remain the governor, so he's trying to appease the wackadoos and still appease the normal, sane people as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's working out good.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Well, yeah, but the thing here is they're saying you don't need to wear a mask. You just have to basically say you got vaccinated. You know, all these anti-maskers now have been walking in here talking about, I got autism, I have asthma, I have this, I have that, I have doctors, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to sue you. Now they're going to go in and be like, oh, I've been vaccinated.
The honor system does not work in the 21st century. That's the whole fucking story right there.
Well, you know, it would if these people had valid information, but Their little bubble, whatever they're in, is feeding them some garbage.
Well, the bottom line.
I mean, first of all, we've talked about this before, Glenn. How insane do you have to be to think a mask is taking away your freedom, wearing a mask? First of all, you're less likely to get the cold or the flu and other things from people breathing all over the place if everyone's wearing a mask. Second of all, it conceals your identity. Now all those facial recognition cameras ain't as precise, and it's a little harder for all these things. You can't have it both ways. They try to make anti-mask laws all over before this shit happened with Corona. You know that, Glenn, and you know why they were doing it too.
Well, I mean, this is another one of the questions about who's really behind, who's financing all this anti-mask bullshit. Because, you know, you're 100% right. This is the 21st century. There are more cameras every day. And you don't know about them, and you're not supposed to know about them. And even if you do know about them, you're not supposed to be able to do anything about them. So, you know, this is the thing that I always think. All these, it's just like the idiots that stormed the Capitol on January 6th. Well, be sure to support your freedom and don't cover your face for the millions of cameras that are around, you idiots. So
yeah, let's be honest. How many? What are they arrest? 180 or something, or they have 100, 200 something altogether, whatever it was. There wouldn't be that many if people were covered up wearing masks. It'd be a lot harder to identify a lot of people. But those idiots smile for the camera proudly, anti-vaxxers, conspiracy theorists, and fascists. Want to be installers of a dictator, whatever you want to call them. Oh, can I go on a tangent real quick? Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, just real quick. Yeah, but what you don't call these people is anti-government. You don't call them anarchists, like much of the liberal, conservative, and quote-unquote left-wing media or progressive media is doing right now. How the hell are you anti-government if you just trying to tear down a Capitol, murder people to keep your guy in charge of the government? How are you an anarchist and a Republican Trump supporter? You can't be. It's
Well, I think my original presidential ticket for 2020 actually won. Dunning-Kruger, 2020. I mean, there's just no explaining or connecting the conflicting arguments in every one of these cultish causes that are out there. None of them make any sense with analysis. It's just all feels and herder. You know, that's it.
You know why they don't make sense to you, Glenn? Because you're a human and you can't understand the mind of a giant person like God.
Trust the plan.
Yeah, your feeble little mind can't think that route, so you just think it's illogical. But with God, all things are logical, right? Isn't that the slogan? With God, anything's logical.
I guess what's the best way to say it? I just don't view that channel ever. So, but I mean, this is it. There is no sense to be made from this shit that's going on. But yet, you know, again, to prove how right Noam Chomsky has been, the illusion of democracy is based on vigorous debate. But the avenue that you're allowed to have this vigorous debate on is very narrow, and you're not allowed to go off it. So where's all the constant uproar about the almost 500 bills at state level that Republicans have put forward to either gerrymander districts, purge the voter rolls, make it legal to run over protesters. Like, this is the shit that should be talked about nonstop. Not all this other garbage that people continue to be enthralled with. I mean, you mentioned masks and the seasonal influenza. Well, the numbers are pretty much in from the regular flu season. And 2020 into 2021 is like the lowest number in decades. And that's only from COVID protocol. There's no other reason for it because the bug's still there. It's not like the bug took the winter off. But nobody wants to talk about that and say, and you think it doesn't make a difference with COVID? Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm walking in stores and seeing more and more people without masks just in like a day.
Fuck.
I was in a pharmacy, CVS pharmacy, like they have a store in a pharmacy. There's people waiting in line at a pharmacy with no mask on. That's bothersome.
That kind of shit just is not happening here. It's just, no, it's not happening. There may be one person that comes in that tries to make their big, stupid statement. They're not going to get anywhere. They're going to get tossed. And what I'm liking that I'm starting to see more and more is other customers are taking this duty on. They're not putting the business at risk. Because that's what I've seen mostly so far, is that if one idiot comes in and starts getting in everybody's face, no mask, this, that, it's the staff that are all over them, and all the other customers just stand there. Well, that's changing. At least it is up here. It's the other customers that are actually starting to instigate it and say, get the fuck out of here.
As they should.
I know, but it really, if that would have started at the beginning, then I don't think it would be anywhere this far as where it is now with the frequency and everything else.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's always the problem. It doesn't matter what it's about. It's the old story. 1/3 of the population wants to kill another third, and then the last third just watches.
And does nothing.
That's how shit like fascism takes over. And it's that last third that has to get off the fucking fence.
Yep. So Celeb Scolders in the Twitch chat. So he said, "What's up, Tim and Glenn?" So hello, Celeb. What's up, man?
Hey, man.
Yeah. Oh, just to anybody else that might be on the Twitch, the video you're watching has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It's just there because we couldn't figure out anything else to put on there. So if you want to see more about what those videos are about, check out our YouTube channel, which should be linked somewhere. And and we're working on our site. The People's Radio site has a Twitch on it now, but it's not active. A friendly person is going to fix it tonight, hopefully, and it should be fixed after that and working. So you could go straight to peoplesradiounited.com and listen on Spreaker, watch it on Twitch, check out the YouTube, see the Instagram, see the Twitter, everything right there in one place.
Just like Global Rev used to be.
Yeah, kind of like that Linktree thing, but way more hassle for me. And we're starting to have union banners on there, if you notice. The union, it'll just take you to the union site that says coming soon, so don't click on them yet. Don't click on them till someone tells you to click on them.
Follow the plan.
Follow the plan.
Trust the plan.
Oh, is that what it is? I don't know. I just say
fuck the plan.
Q. Yeah, fuck the plan. Fuck Q. So that's the whole rundown on Twitch. If you're listening on Spreaker, I hope we're not peaking because the last music mix show for April 20th we did, I listened back and it was all peaked out on Spreaker, but Twitch was fine. So we got some technical difficulties. for anyone that doesn't know, but we'll get them worked out one great day in the next few years. So yeah,
Okay, now we touched on this here. The recall election in California.
yeah, that's confusing to me.
Now, wait a minute. That's not even the issue for most of the rest of the world. Caitlyn fucking Jenner.
That's the part that's confusing. Nothing against her. Here's the thing. I mean, I don't like her politics.
And
But
Randy
what?
fucking Quaid.
Yeah, I mean, California, you know how that slogan goes? Those who do not learn history or know history are doomed to repeat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, before in California, a couple times, but there was one time in particular we had a B-rate actor that became governor. He screwed a whole lot of stuff up. And then he became president and screwed the whole nation up. And then we had this other action superstar that really screwed a lot of stuff up. I'm not saying the other ones haven't screwed stuff up. Newsom sucks. They all suck. I don't care for politicians, but yeah, you don't want actors in California or anywhere else. I mean, we just had a celebrity reality TV star in the White House. He kind of screwed a lot of stuff up too.
Well, I think
I think-
it begins and ends with their previous skill set. They're an actor.
Yeah, but
They
the thing
portray
about
something that's not real.
exactly the thing about Caitlyn Jenner though, she's running as a Republican, and that's the part that blows my mind. I just aren't these the people that are trying to take all of her rights from her? Aren't these the people that say she's only the way she is because she wants to go into a woman's bathroom and assault women? Aren't these the people that follow people around in restaurants and harass them for being trans people, just for living their life and wanting to go out in public like normal people or everyone else? I don't mean normal. I didn't mean that in a negative way. But it's just
Right.
it just doesn't
Right.
make sense. These are hateful. These are the people that are trying to take them out the military. They're trying to take them out of sports and do everything. And you're going to go run for that party? Good luck with that.
No, it just proves the level of delusion in the life of Caitlyn Jenner. Look at the history of this person. At one point in time, this person had their own Wheaties box for their gold medal in the men's decathlon. At that time, considered the gold medal, not like the 100 meters is now. That was the gold medal. So, a masculine American hero to being a Kardashian property to the much overcovered sex change. And yet, after all that, the person who's inside Caitlyn Jenner thinks that they deserve more. They can fight reality more and get their way. Like you said, the Republican Party would rather just deny the whole existence of transsexualism. They would just rather it didn't exist. But yet, that's where the money is in this election. The money to be had to get rid of Newsom is coming from Republican donors. That's why. And it just shows how ridiculously perverted.
It reminds me a lot of Chelsea Manning. Now I don't support Chelsea Manning anymore. You know why? Because of the Nazi thing.
Yeah.
But before that, I supported her 1,000%. You hang with Nazis, you lose my support. Um, but yeah, people would do that all the time. They'd be like, "This man, this dude," you know what I mean? Homie or bro, things like that. The
Yeah.
right wing people tweeting, just responding to her tweets. It's ridiculous. If someone just wants to be labeled a certain way, who cares? Do what they want, make them happy. The world flow goes a lot easier that way.
Well, I mean, that's another thing too. It wasn't that long ago that nobody would even consider using something like this for other means, like using transsexualism as a gateway to politics or a gateway to media. This concept hasn't been around very long. But I mean, I just think it is so.
I don't think it's a gateway. I think what it is just. Well, I don't even know in this situation. I don't think it's a benefit at all. I think it's a negative for the voting bloc that would be trying to vote for her, But in other instances, I think it's just like Biden, the Biden administration. He has a lot of diverse people who, though they look diverse, deep down they're all a bunch of fascists. And they're going to hurt their own people and other people for gain for their party and profit for their donors and blah, 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 blah. I think that's all it is with one side. Because at the end, they don't care about these people at all.
Well, I think that's an interesting comparison because, I mean, in the archives of this show, we certainly at some point discussed the Trump cabinet. I mean, it was just, they didn't try and hide anything. They didn't try and play the intellectual end around. They just, we want to fuck over this department. Well, this person can do it. That's who we're putting in. They made it very clear. They weren't about making some sort of picture for people to see. Like Betsy DeVos in education. She's there to destroy it. Flat out. Day one. Rick Perry at the fucking EPA. Give me a break. These people were there to destroy government institutions, and they made it very clear. Now, the thing with Biden, like you said, he has people that have an entirely different appeal. And that's what they're focusing on. What are we going to do in the background? Oh, yeah, we're going to do whatever the fuck we want too. But, exactly like you said, they find people in the demographic that they want to present for their bigger image, but that's completely separate from why they're being allowed to be that representative and given that job. I mean, I don't want to jump to conclusions. Everybody's making a big deal about Deb Haaland being the first Indigenous American to be in a cabinet position. Yes, that is a very big deal, but time will tell. Does that just mean that she was the first one that they found acceptable to the status quo?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that you don't know until, it happens. So it's nice.
Well, my thing is, what can they do? They're in a party that's fascist, that has fascist policies, fascist guidelines, is built on white supremacy. What can they do? Why would they even go to that party if they're not with something, It's like it's the same thing as Caitlyn Jenner becoming a Republican, of all the things to be. They blatantly hate you. The Democrats will throw you a bone. I said the Democrats will always throw you a bone while they do atrocities. They threw Armenians a bone the other day.
Yes.
I don't know how valid, I know it's valid, but I don't see what purpose it serves. I mean, it should have been done long ago. Yeah. Imagine if a country said we don't believe the Holocaust happened. We're not going to validate that. You know the hell they get? But Armenian genocide is okay. Because we do business with them. What's it going to change? What is acknowledging this genocide going to change now? Erdogan's going to be upset for a few months, maybe, and then we're going to continue business as usual. Well, he does genocides and genocides by proxy all over there, and we're not saying nothing about that. What's going on right now? Not to mention, why don't we talk about all the genocides here we've caused? This place was built on a genocide. Call them out.
But see, that's just it. You just explained it, why the Armenian reclassification is happening now. It's because it's over a century ago. It doesn't fucking matter. I mean, unfortunately, that is the truth. It doesn't matter now. There's nothing to come of it. It's just agreeing to a statement. That's it. It doesn't change a thing. It doesn't explain anything. It doesn't give any context to what's happening now. It's completely detached and over with. So it doesn't mean anything. It's just...
And a skeptical person who knows the Armenian community better than most might say that it was done because a big, huge block of Armenians are really right-wing, Jesus-loving Republicans. And if a Democrat did something like this, you might get some of those people to jump over and vote on the blue side of things. But I'm not going to be a skeptic and say that's one of the reasons they did it, you know?
Well, I mean, you have to look back to the supposed, now generally taken as legitimate, the coup attempt against Erdogan by that guy who's been kicked out of Turkey and who's been living in Pennsylvania for 15 years. I mean, there's always some sort of games going on between Turkey and the U.S. There's just always some fuckery.
What's his name? I can't think. Starts with a G, though.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I did a whole show about him.
Yeah, but, you
Oh,
know.
my God. It's on the tip of my tongue.
But that's the dude. And, I mean, he's been here the whole time. The U.S. ain't going to give him up. So, I don't know. I mean, Obama did the same sort of things to try and publicly embarrass Turkey. That's the only reason they did them. Whenever they didn't like something that the Turkish military bought, or they didn't like that a Turkish rep wouldn't show up to talk about the Kurds, or something like that, then Washington would do something like this to basically personally try and insult Erdogan. Trump personally insulted every world leader, so it really wasn't a big deal. But, you know, Biden is picking it up right where they left off.
Yeah, it's such a tragic thing. I mean, right now, you're calling out these people on, like you said, 106 or 105-year-old genocide. Well, you have concentration camps in your own country.
Yep.
Oh, and just for the cheap seats, I know we said this long, long ago, but here's the thing. So all these people being like, if there was concentration camps, you'd have bodies everywhere. No. Once again, concentration camps, people may die, may be covered up, but death camps are the camps you're thinking of. That's where they take people and mass murder them. Maybe we don't have those yet. Maybe we don't know about them if we do. Maybe we have something in the middle. But right now we're worried about the people in the concentration camps because that's what we know about. And yes, we have concentration camps with children and men in this country. We have police murdering certain groups of people on an insane scale multiple times a day, armed or unarmed, doesn't matter. They just murdered a dude in LA here for counting backwards from 3 to 1. And the police blew him away because he had a vest on, a bulletproof vest on. They murdered a black dude for counting 3, 2, 1, and moving his arm. No gun, no nothing. Had him laid out in the street in Hollywood for over 4 hours, from what I heard from somebody filming over there.
Gee,
And you know what? I guarantee you the police were doing a cover-up. That's what they've been working on nonstop.
Gee, this sounds like any day in Baghdad, any time from 2005 to 2014.
Yeah, did you see the video of the police that we talked about this a couple weeks ago? They beat this elderly woman with dementia, broke her arm, dislocated it, and just slammed her, and she didn't weigh anything. She weighed like 80 pounds or 90 pounds, and some dude came and screaming at the police, "Stop beating on that little kid!" But it was an older woman.
Yeah.
And she just was picking flowers and saying she wanted to go home. And she went into a store and took something and forgot to pay and had the money, had her card. She just forgot because she has dementia. So then there's now a video of these cops in the police station watching the video of them brutalizing this woman, a white woman, by the way, and laughing hysterically and giggling like childish high school kids, flirting with each other, the male and the female cop. The other one is in here, wait for the pop. And one's like, I'm so proud to be going in here like this, talking about it like an enemy combatant.
There you go.
It's disgusting. Did you see that video, Glenn?
No, I didn't. But there you
Yeah.
go. Those two words. That's the rules of engagement. This is an army on your streets, America. It's what it is. Never mind all their social clubs and their different agendas. Overall, Metropolitan Police in the United States are armies. That's fascism, people. That's fucking fascism.
We need to start phrasing things right, just like they do. I think it was, I hope I don't say his name right. I don't have it in front of me. Jody David Amore. He's a professor at USC, I believe. Really, really intelligent dude, author of some books. I wish I could get him on the show, but I feel like some people are like on a level where they have so much coverage to do stuff like this show's not big enough for them, maybe. There's a lot of people like that are in between the giant people that I really don't want on the show and the small people I love having on the show. They're like kind of like a step up, but they get all this media coverage. So, but he's awesome. Check him out on Twitter or wherever else. And yeah, he was saying that when them cats shot at the police, remember when they walked up on the sheriff car and shot him?
Yep.
In L.A.
Yep.
He said that first thing that happened was the sheriff and the spokespeople went on and said, this wasn't just an attack on the police. It was an attack on America. It was an attack on us all. And he said, this is what hit me and made so much sense. He said, if that's the case, by like logic, that would mean that when the cop murders somebody, America murdered somebody. America's trying to murder us all.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It works both ways. So we need to say stuff like, the United States just murdered another one of its citizens.
In the name
the police
of
or
the
these
United
police or
States.
LAPD, or it separates everything. But it's one big system doing all this murdering 3 times a day or more.
Yeah.
And we're paying for it. Literally, not you, but people here who pay taxes, who buy things and pay taxes, who pay high prices for gas. We're paying for this brutality. And we're paying to cover it up. And we're praying to try to keep it from being tried and convicted. I don't want to be the one paying for that stuff.
People's Radio United.
You like that?
That was pretty cool. It just kind of slid right in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Pope will bless that.
So yeah, I don't We got to change the way we phrase things. This isn't not all right.
Well,
It just seems like,
narrative is it, man. Obviously, I mean, Trump
but
happened.
from
Narrative
where
is
you
it.
are, no. This was going on long before Trump.
Oh, I know, but I mean, there's proof of how effective it can be.
What do you mean?
Reality doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's how whatever you're being fed sounds. That seems to be what matters now.
Well, Trump's America was terrible, but right now in Biden's America, I'm saying that with 3 Ks, spelling that with 3 Ks. It seems like law enforcement, what is all this emergency alert stuff coming through all day? You can't even mute it. In Biden's America, it seems like the law enforcement agencies all across the country have collectively decided to wage war on the people.
Yep.
Is there any other way I should be seeing this?
Well, I mean, it's directly relatable to video or audio or anything else that you want to apply it to. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is something else. I mean, it's always in the news about how states like California have 2 senators, how states like Wyoming have 2 senators, and stuff like that. But I think the way there's so much militarized police activity also is related because, the U.S. has a lot of very big urban centers. I don't know exact numbers, but I know that, since the 1970s, the number of people, families, entire generational lines of people have left rural America and moved to cities. And I think there's still, I would estimate 80% of the continental United States that doesn't understand firsthand what's been going on with metropolitan police for decades. They just still don't get it because they've never seen it, felt it, paid for it. I think that's a big thing, There's just still so many people, well, it shouldn't be, but it seems we've regressed, that there's just such a big percentage of people that if they haven't seen it with their own eyes, it doesn't exist. And I think it's a very backward way to live your life, but it seems like more and more people are doing it all the time.
Yeah. Did you hear the new news on this Andrew Brown Jr., I think his name was?
No, I haven't.
Where was he? North Carolina. Yeah, it turned out they did after the investigation with an autopsy. I think it was a second autopsy. He was executed, shot in the back of the head. So this is the guy the police are refusing to leave the body cam footage. They're saying it's too confusing to see. You won't know what you're looking at. Then they had like 30 or 40 seconds of video that they said they were going to release eventually. So they showed the family only like 15 or 20 seconds worth of it. It's real fishy, man. Something's real foul going on.
Yeah.
I heard his hands were both on the steering wheel. So yeah, you really they're going to put one of those videos together where they chop it up and have one of the cops tell you how you're supposed to be looking at it and how terrified these cops were because this crazy black dude in the car had supernatural powers. He just wasn't using them yet. In any second, he could have used some kind of, ray vision Superman to slice the cops' heads off or whatever. Because, black people are dangerous to cops, evidently. Not as dangerous as white supremacists are, but pretty dangerous, right? who actually murder cops all the time.
Yeah, so all that immediate discussion is, what difference will the Chauvin verdict have on the behavior of police? Well, it got our answer pretty fucking fast. None.
Oh, it seems to have. Don't say that, Glenn. You got to be positive. I'm not joking. A lot of cops are getting more funding for extra training now.
Oh, God.
Did you hear LAPD, since they said they can't, we talked about this last week, I think. They said LAPD cannot use less than lethal munitions like gas canisters, rubber bullets, flashbangs, until they, one, give a dispersal order and enough quote-unquote time for people to disperse, or if they claim a cop was attacked. There was another loophole in here. Lots of loopholes in this. The other loophole was, unless the officers using it are specifically trained to use that. So now they said, yes, no problem. We'll just give us a ton of more money and we'll get all the officers trained on it so we can immediately start using it again. Or use it immediately again.
That's ridiculous.
I believe these rules, laws, policies are made intentionally with loopholes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like I said when we talked about this last week. All they're doing is codifying how they're going to get away with it. That's it. So there's no more question about whether we could do it or not. Here, we made the rules. These rules with 10 different workarounds in them. These are the rules. So fuck you. Everyone is going to be legal when we do it now because you wanted rules. Here they are.
Yeah.
They're just pulling away the curtain on this a bit. That's all. They're being forced to come out with, what power do you want with this method? And I said, okay, well, we'd like it if we could do this under any goddamn circumstance we feel like, pretty much. Okay, we'll write it down. It's passed. There we go.
I think there's a minor difference.
You know, and then they'll keep pulling this. Oh, did we forget to give you this addendum? Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
The difference is the rhetoric. When the Republicans pour money into police, they're like, yeah, law and order, they're going to kick ass out there and break necks. And everyone's like, yeah. And the Democrats are like, we're doing this for reform. While they're out there breaking necks and kicking ass. And talking about police brutality is horrid. But when it happens, they're like, just wait until all the information comes out. Don't jump to conclusions.
Yeah. Don't think
Obama
about it
was
until
famous
it's too
for
late.
that.
Yeah. Don't think about it until it's too late to change.
Yeah.
Just relax, remain calm, stay indoors, consume.
Trust the plan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about this dude, Sam Johnson?
I don't think so.
He's some CEO of a healthcare company or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
He took it upon himself to go to a prom, a children's high school prom, or he, start attacking kids that were coming from a prom because one kid was wearing a dress.
Yep.
And he was smacking phones out of people's hands and clowning and talking about how disgusting he looked. Like, why did that bother him so much? I just don't understand that, because I guarantee you he's a Republican. And Caitlyn Jenner might not get his vote. 'Cause, 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 I know he was in North Carolina or someplace, or where was he at?
Yeah, I think so.
Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, but what if he moves to California before this governmental thing?
I'm just of the general opinion that that guy probably thinks California is
Yeah, right.
like he's not going to California. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
Yeah. If anywhere, he may go to Texas.
Well, here's
Or-
something. A
or
tangent.
Louisiana.
Let's go on a quick tangent. Another one. You know what I did a couple of days ago after seeing that? I did some research into men's fashion. You want to know what I found out?
What?
That men's fashion changes with times.
No way.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Right now I got like little homies and they got tight pants on, their ass hanging out the back of their pants because they're sagging so low, with like skinny jeans, super tight. And they got little tiny backpacks or purses. Literal purses. And a lot of these cats, 2 or 3 in particular I could think of, while dressed like that, are worried about the gay agenda trying to turn everybody gay or trans people fooling them and blah, blah, blah. They're literally terrified about this. And one of them even brings demons into it and stuff. These are little black dudes. They're not white supremacists. They're not QAnons. It just seems a little hypocritical, first of all. But here's the thing. As I looked into men's fashion, a couple hundred years ago, like the 1700s, you know what men were wearing?
Well, it depends where. I mean, but keep going.
Well, it always depends where. But I'm saying it changes. Men were wearing wigs. Everyone was wearing makeup. High heel shoes were big. And men were wearing tights, a lot of them. Imagine a dude doing that today that wasn't involved in some kind of music.
Yep.
They be saying all kinds of stuff about him. But then if they were back then, I don't think they'd be wearing, cowboy hats and boots and Levi's. They'd probably be wearing the dainty stuff too, you know?
Well, there wasn't really much choice. I mean, even go back to the quote-unquote founding fathers.
Yeah.
They're all fucking hippies. What's the deal?
I think a lot of them wore wigs.
Well, yeah, but a lot of them did have ponytails.
And tights.
And they did curl their hair. So, I mean...
I'm just saying it's a style, fashion changes. Who cares? Who cares what someone wears or why they wear it? Unless they're wearing something like sharp razors all over and running through people or something that hurts others. It doesn't matter. Like, you mess up that kid's whole day. Who cares what that kid was doing? Wasn't none of this guy's business.
Well, the one thing I always question when something like this happens, when somebody of power and privilege goes out of their way to fuck with basically a nobody, methinks he doth protest too much. I think the first thing somebody should be doing is going back and finding out everything about this guy in high school that they possibly can.
Which guy are we talking about?
The fired CEO.
Oh, yeah. In high school.
There's a lot of Bible freaks out there that'll try and justify any sort of lashing out at any segment of society that they put the catchphrase sin on. But a lot of the times that's just the public reason. There's a lot of people who have been through shit and are still indoctrinated in the cult. And when they see something that may trigger them in some way about their past, their experience within whatever they're involved with, this is not a rare reaction, you know? It's just like how some people who manage to accumulate a lot of wealth, the first thing they come out and donate to is something like abortion rights. There's a reason for that, you know?
Yeah.
And most of the time, those people do come out and tell people eventually why, what their experience was, why they don't want it to happen to other people. That's for the positive that way. But there's a lot of people that, Mr. CEO here, that's my question. What he did is disgusting, unnecessary, and immensely stupid and closed-minded. But I'm more curious what his motivation for this specifically was.
Just to pick on, be a bully, I think. To make himself feel better about himself for some weird reason.
There's a million other wackadoo Christian things he could have done besides this one. What's the trigger here? You know, it's just like we've talked.
Let's be honest. The book he believes in as a moral authority tells him to take these people to the edge of town and stone them to death. That could be one of the problems there.
Yeah, the Old Testament is plenty wackadoo, but I mean, like we've discussed before in this show, over the years, how many Republican politicians that have always been very publicly anti more than a binary world, anti-sexual freedom, how many of them end up getting caught in an airport washroom stall or here or there? And it's never with young girls. If these politicians are men, it's always a young boy. But yet publicly, get all that money to stay in office, oh no, they're never voting for any of that stuff. Yet, you know, what are they doing?
Honestly, the only problem I have with that is young. As long as it's not too young and they can consent, I don't care what these people do. But you're right. If you're railing against somebody and punishing them for doing what they do and you're doing the same thing, it seems mighty hypocritical to me.
Yep.
Like, what's the point?
Politics, that's the point. No other point.
Parlor tricks.
Playing the game.
So, today is Wednesday.
Yes.
Wednesday, April 28th. Does that mean anything to you, Glenn?
It does up here.
What does it mean up there in Canada?
This is the National Day of Mourning for people killed at work.
Wow. Does that happen a lot in Canada?
Well, there's still too many worksite deaths, definitely.
You mean accidentally killed at work, not like mass shootings at work?
No.
Oh, I see. If you spelled it a little different, it could mean that you don't acknowledge nighttime that day. Well, no, I mean worldwide. Does today mean anything to you?
No.
Me neither. But it is a couple days before May 1st, May Day.
And
I think hopefully a lot of people are going to be in the streets on May Day. I'm considering going out there, hoping, wishing, dreaming that it's a bunch of workers out there and people who want freedom and equal rights for others chilling, having a good time, celebrating, protesting the police that are going to undoubtedly show up. But I'm hoping there's no fascists there. Because they really just put a damper on May Day. You know, there's dancing going on, barbecues going on, all kinds of stuff. And then these jackasses are there. Standing there screaming racial epithets. And I guarantee you that why are they going to have Trump signs if they show up?
These are the same people that say stuff like Super Bowl III was the best Super Bowl ever. You know, there's only been over 50 since then, but no.
Why? What happened
No.
in Super Bowl III?
No, that's the one, Namath one. But I mean, I'm just saying, you know, there are some people that just refuse to evolve with time. And
There's only been 50 Super Bowls?
54 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So the 12 disciples weren't a team?
They were the taxi squad.
Oh, man. I thought
Yeah,
the founding fathers had a team.
They had a cricket team.
You know what it's a
No,
good
that's-
time for?
People's Radio United.
Oh, yeah.
But these people that are still on the Trump thing, whatever. I mean, there's going to be whack jobs. I mean, there's still millions of people in North Korea, and there may be some deeper relation to this psychosis, but there's still millions of people in North Korea that think the original Kim, or Kim Jong-il, was some kind of god, and he's still, you know, around. He's not really gone, just his body died. That type of shit. These people will believe this forever. They just refuse to evolve past what they perceive as the best time possible.
So you're trying to
that's-
rob them of their freedom of religion?
No, you're just trying to rob them of where they want to see the world. They just demand that the world provide the image of the world they want. Well, you know,
Yeah.
no, fuck you. Too bad.
North Korea has to stay bad. The United States needs North Korea to stay bad so they can say, hey, at least you have it better than they do over there. Shut up.
Well, no, North Korea has to stay a rogue nuclear nation, copyright, because then we can justify our 4 squadrons of jet fighters and our 2 air bases and our 60,000 troops in South Korea, which just happens to be right next door to where? China. Gee, what a coincidence. That's the only reason North Korea has to stay the boogeyman. Can't come out and tell the American public that we've got 60,000 troops and 4 squadrons of jets staring at China. Can't say that. Never mind all the military might of the U.S. in Japan, which ain't that far away. But they're kind of busy with East Russia. So, you know.
Yeah.
Priorities.
You know, Glenn, I think our ratings aren't really good on this show. So maybe we should have like an entertainment part of the show where we talk about entertainment. Did you see the Oscars?
No, I did not.
I didn't either, but let's talk about them for a minute. Did you? Why are you laughing?
because we both of us didn't see him, but we're going to talk about it. It's like, holy fuck, we're big time media.
We are. But listen, did you see any part of them? Any clips from the Oscars? Any of the speeches that these celebrity people gave?
None.
Oh man. Well, some of them were giving like really quote unquote woke speeches about police murdering black people and equality for all, and really social justice-y kind of stuff.
All right.
And a lot of the right-wing people are really angry about this. Like, they're just celebrities. They need to shut up and celebrate, or they need to shut up and act and not get into politics.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to talk about, because I didn't see the Oscars and I don't care about these people giving speeches. But at the same time they were giving these speeches about police murdering black people and stuff, the Oscars were in Union Station, I believe, which for people who don't know, is downtown LA. It's a major bus and train terminal. It's also a place a whole bunch of homeless people are all around there living. So before these woke Oscars happened, what do you think happened here? Do you think the police went through and gave all the homeless people tickets to get in and see the celebrities and chill and mingle? Do you think they just let anybody get on and off the buses and trains in the station and just walk up and chill at the Oscars before their next train or bus came? You think it was business as usual, but there were some celebrities over there in the middle? No. They shut down Union Station, stranding crap loads of people. And they went through and removed the people who lived there. They removed the people who lived around it. They took their stuff and threw it away in the trash during sweeps. So the poorest of the poor people who don't have anything, not even a home, get their stuff thrown away. So the richest of the rich people could come and get swag bags worth how many thousands of dollars each? So they could win some awards on television. They couldn't find anywhere else to go. Multi-millionaires collectively couldn't find anywhere other than Union Station to disrupt the whole city. To disrupt people's lives and allow the police to go brutalize people who didn't want to leave their homes. And that's the entertainment part of this show.
This was the only part about the Oscars that I paid any attention to. The social cleansing of Union Station and all the neighborhood around it. First thing, I want to know why Union Station. Wouldn't it made more sense for the Academy to get a place like Grauman's Theater? Some place where they have...
Where they always do it?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, man? Exactly. Like, why are you making a new choice at this point in time?
Or a stadium or a coliseum or something, man. We got a lot of venues out here.
No shit.
Staples Center. I don't know. There's so many venues. Come on now.
Yeah. And they're the Academy. Like, nobody's going to rent to them? Fuck off. Come on.
Maybe they lapsed on their insurance.
Well, you never know, maybe. Or they wouldn't have adequate coverage. That could be it. I'd like to know if the city of Los Angeles covered the event insurance-wise.
You know, a whole bunch of people got overtime that work for the pigs. You know, a lot of people got kickbacks, I'm sure, and you know a bunch of money went to the city for it. Not to mention, now they get to say LA's all over TV, the celebrities are here, you know.
Yeah.
Downtown is so safe and nice. We would let our celebrities down here. Never mind Skid Row, a few blocks away.
Yeah. Which is fenced off for the evening. Yeah.
And that's my question. You care so much. It's not an act. You're not an actor acting. You really care about humanity and people. You wish everybody could have all the opportunities you have. And you got one night where you got all these cameras around you. The whole world's watching you. Why you couldn't say, hey, some super famous actors and actresses say, you know what, we're going to take a walk through Skid Row and show you what it's like here. And we're going to start some kind of thing to get these people out of here as fast as we can because we're rich as hell and we can do that. And we're going to go to all our rich friends until this is ended and there's no more Skid Row. Everybody here has a house because we're filthy rich and we care. No, they just gave some speeches and let everything go down. You know, you could have brought a lot of awareness. You know, just like kind of shut down the Oscars. Like, we're all famous. We're what you're here for. Now you're going to follow us. Change your plan. Cameras, let's go. Nobody does this stuff. They just get their little speeches and they probably rehearsed. Probably had a writer write it for them.
And who knows who else got to read it?
It's
before
no
the public heard
different than a photo op that the politicians do. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
So
well,
disgusting.
but not surprising.
Why didn't all these caring woke celebrities boycott? Say, we're not doing it there. We're not going to hurt a bunch of people like this. We're not going to destroy people's of color's lives. We're not going to displace the poorest of the poor people in our city. It's not what we're about. Whatever y'all go, you got to figure that out, but we ain't doing it. It's bad enough they do it every year in Hollywood for these people, you know? They shut down the whole street, but doing it at Union Station is a special kind of screw you to poor people.
Yeah. Yeah. No
You know, everyone
doubt.
cries
And-
about the small businesses. Oh, you can't loot anything. You can't shut down small businesses. Coronavirus hurting small businesses. How come anyone ever say that the Academy Award shuts down Hollywood or whatever these shows, all these things, shut down Hollywood Boulevard? All the small businesses can't get any money for a week each time for security. But that's okay, because that's for the rich and famous people.
It's brand enhancement.
Such a scam, man.
Yeah. But I mean, I think there's it was toned down. It's not like a normal Academy Awards. So I think the people involved, like there's some people that are missing that you wouldn't expect to just so blindly go along with the whole routine. And, I'm convinced that even if it's a live awards show, it takes a cast to pull off the show. It's not just,
It takes a cast and a crew.
yeah. And
It's not a small thing, man. Trucks are showing up early. They got to set everything up. You got to have lighting. You got to have audio. You got to have the sets. You got to have makeup. You got to have wardrobe.
yeah.
Probably rehearsals. It's a big production. It doesn't just fall into place.
Yeah. And the
I
thing
work in
is,
this industry, man. I know how things work. It's not like a little quick, like, let's go set up a couple, DSLRs in the corner and give everybody a lapel mic and do it real quiet and not bother nobody. It's a
Well, I
big
think-
production.
but I mean, since this is not a normal one, and the people who are going to get airtime are going to be smaller in number, and I think there was a certain, this was a ticket that actors wanted to get. They wanted to be seen at the Academy Awards this year. So, there might have also been some agreement on maybe subject matters that are allowed or not allowed, that sort of thing. I don't see why not. That's just doing business. Because there could be some people from the last even 10 years. I don't think they would have been so tunnel vision about what was happening all around them. And they weren't there. You know, that's the thing. They weren't fucking there. And you think back to people like what Marlon Brando did. They kind of make sure that only ever happens once.
What are we referring to?
When Brando turned down his Academy Award and stood up for American Indigenous people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they kind of make sure shit like that only happens once. And again, it's basically a pay to play. You want to get on this show and get remembered for it? You can't be a Brando. Sorry.
Yeah, people could do whatever they want once they're on there, man. The bigger the celebrity, the more power they have.
But they're afraid of not being the same level the next day.
None of them boycott it. None of them talk crap. I think we should start covering these things. Not us, but somebody, that's cool. And while they're going around with their clothes and the dresses and the whatever, people should just talk about what that money could buy for a regular person. Like, she's wearing a lovely red dress that'll pay any average person's rent for 2 years. They could end homelessness for 6 people. You know what I mean? For this much time. Say things like that. Just shame them.
That would
do it
nice.
in the genre of the,
the red carpet.
Yeah. Like, you look marvelous. Wearing something that could feed all the children, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. And even get them to play along and be like, well, I could have bought 3 minivans for 3 families, but when I saw this, I just had to have it.
Oh, man. It's like someone needs to be out there doing that. So, yeah, to all of our millions, and I think, what do we have, like 8 billion listeners, Glenn?
I don't know.
12 billion listeners? I think we have 12 billion listeners. All unique.
It's huge. I know that.
Yeah, so all of our 12 billion listeners, somebody's got to have the means to do that show. Make it happen. Get out there with 2 people with English accents and, a eye for style, and just shame the crap out of these celebrities for everything expensive they have that could feed a family for years and years. Look at this marvelous necklace. It could house everyone on Skid Row for 2 years in a row. But you're going to wear it on your neck. Good show.
Thanks for coming.
It shows you don't give a damn. Oh, I like that. They can even do it like that, like hailing them for being such terrible people or making terrible choices. I don't know. Someone needs to get on that. Tangent's over.
Well, I mean, like the one feature on Twitter I use to the maximum benefit I can is the muted words or phrases. And pretty much anything to do with Oscars, Academy Awards, hashtag Oscars, like, I've got all that shit muted. And it's been that way for years now.
Then you don't get my groovy tweets then, do you?
It's like, I just really don't care. I don't want to know. I don't want to have to waste time on it. Just no, remove it. Emmys, same thing. Grammys, same thing. It's all part of the business. It's not you do your business and then we decide who did the best at it. Now the award shows are part of the business, as far as I'm concerned.
I think they always have been.
Well, maybe. But, I mean, I really don't like the way they do it now.
I never liked the way they did it. I'm not into sports or award shows. It just seems silly. Who cares? I mean, if you did a good job or not. What's a little statue that you got to pay for going to do for you?
Make you more money.
I guess.
You know,
But
that's the other
aren't
side
they
of
doing it for the art, not the money?
it. That's funny. That's funny. Oh shit. I don't know. Ask Disney. I'm not sure.
That's Disney.
The
Oh,
Disney
man.
space lasers.
Wow, you putting everything together.
That's this week's G drop.
G-Drop.
Disney lasers.
Is G for green?
It could be.
Oh.
It's just G, just like it's just Q. Whatever. Either you get it or you don't. Trust the plan.
Oh, I get it.
Good for you. Excellent.
Yeah.
But is that a signal for a segment?
The G-Drop.
The green?
Oh, no, I was just... Oh, I see what you're saying. I went back to Marjorie Taylor Greene because that's what I was thinking when you were talking about space lasers because she was... Her insanity.
But she didn't put Disney together with them.
No. She was very anti-Semitic with her space lasers.
No,
You're just really capitalist with yours.
I'm just going one step further, that's all.
Yeah. Disney just sucks so bad. So many corporations suck just like Disney.
Disney has sucked for decades now.
Well, I wasn't saying it was a new thing. I just was claiming how bad they suck.
Yeah, it's massively.
I think they've sucked since day one.
Well, their retail outlet is still doing very well at West Edmonton Mall.
You know what I'm thinking about?
Yes. No.
I'm trying to think the last time I went into a mall. Oh, it wasn't that long ago. I had to go get something for some. Yeah, usually holidays I go into malls. Unfortunately, I don't really go into malls. I don't like them. Too many people all over. It's really scary. Like stores here, and you turn around, there's more stores, and you can't get away from the stores.
Oh, no, that's what it's all about, man. Consume.
I mean, back in the day, they used to have arcades so you could stop and play a game and relax before you had to go back out to the stores. They don't do that anymore. Now they'd be like, you got video games at home. If you want to play video games, go home. My, how the world has changed.
All for the revenue.
For sure, that's real.
People's Radio United.
So yeah, are we supposed to do our segment and get up out of here soon? Our sponsors?
Probably.
Okay. Let me get the sponsor music. Here it goes. I think it's on.
Yes, it is.
Is it loud? Yeah, bring it down a little. Yeah. Go ahead, Glenn. You go first.
Keeping it simple today. Had it for a week or two now. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Just one sponsor today. MK Ultra.
Nice. I'm on the apple fritter wax. Oh, this is the first day I've said it. I told you earlier about it, but we weren't on the air. And of course, I got a hardcore OG Stizzy.
Well prepared.
Yeah. So that's our sponsors for today. You know what else though?
What?
There's this I got this shroom strawberry tea infused with shrooms. And if you drink that with a mocha iced coffee drink, pretty awesome taste combination. Just for anybody who might do that.
Yeah, not me.
Why, you don't like to get happy?
I've had quite enough of psilocybin in my life. That's about the best way I can describe that.
Okay. Well, I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's Glenn from another century. Sorry.
Cool. So anything else we didn't go over, Glenn?
Well, I sure hope people fucking get vaccinated when they have the chance.
I do too. What's the population of Alberta?
4.2 million.
Do you do math good, Glenn?
Sometimes.
Is 4.2 million greater or less than 10 billion?
I think it's a little less.
In that case, wear your masks, Alberta. We have 10 billion listeners, so I'm pretty sure everybody in that town is listening. So I just solved your problem. You can thank me. You can write me letters and put $1 in them and send them my way, thanking me, Alberta.
We'll wait for the charts. Yeah.
I'll be mad when those Canadian dollars come in. I'll be like, this is only 90-something cents. I said $1.
Fuck, you'd be lucky if you get 70 cents.
Oh, is that the exchange rate?
I think so.
Oh, I thought it was higher. I don't know.
Yeah, that's about it.
Hilarity. So cool. I guess that's about it, right?
Yep.
Thank you, Twitch listeners, and thank you, Spreaker listeners, and thank you, future YouTube listeners. We're going to end now. Oh, real quick, stay tuned on Saturday, because I might be out there live streaming from the festivities. Hopefully there's going to be festivities and more happiness and, you know, making some demands and peaceful, chill protests without cops and Nazis. That's my dream. The reality probably be something different. So we'll see what happens. That's this Saturday, May 1st. Depending on if my PTSD bad, I won't be out there probably. But if it's cool, I'm going to try to go. So that's that.